Okay folks, back again. I watched the other one and the sound was okay, so we'll shoot this next one here right now. So number 2, part 2 of 3 of the gut health series, and this is about prebiotics, probiotics, and I forgot before, but also antibiotics. Okay, so obviously they're all extremely important, particularly this day and age, because antibiotics are given out like fucking lollipops and candy to everybody. All right, so anyway, basically the way it goes is like this. Okay, your probiotics are your good guys, your good bacteria. So I spoke before about the microbiome. Your probiotics are the good guys that live in the microbiome, and essentially, or ideally, you want all 100 trillion to be good guys. All right? Now, when they're not, when you get sick, you catch a cold or a flu, particularly if it's a bacteria, then you know, you get some bad bacteria. And that's when they prescribe antibiotics to kill the bad bacteria, but it also kills the good bacteria. All right, so that's the problem. All right, particularly this day and age, because you know, antibiotics are used so much, so often, that persons, you know, yours perhaps, gut microbiome is being literally destroyed. All right? And in that process, the destruction of your probiotics leads to a depletion in your immune system strength. Okay, because your probiotics guard your immune system. They are like the army on the outside of the immune system. Okay, and they protect it, right, and keep it strong and healthy itself, so that it can then go and protect you from invasions. All right, so you know, all other threats, whether it's viral, bacterial, or whatever. Okay, pathogens, you know. All that sort of stuff. I just lost my train of thought for a second. All right, okay, cool. So anyway, you can tell this is live, not scripted. All right, so probiotics are your good guys in your gut. 100 trillion of them. We want to be as good as possible. Okay, prebiotics are the foods that feed your probiotics. Okay, so I mean, bacteria are living organisms. Okay, they don't just thrive on nothing. They need to be fed. All right. So in this case, your prebiotics are the ones that feed your probiotics. Hi everybody, I can see you there, but I can't talk to you because I'm busy, you know, doing man business, which I can't do 2 things at once. All right, but thanks for watching, everybody. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll get to them afterwards. All right, so prebiotics are the ones that feed your gut. Okay, so they feed the good guys. All right, so probiotics are your good guys. Prebiotics feed your good guys. And antibiotics kill everything. All right, so antibiotics are designed to kill bad bacteria. All right, but unfortunately they kill good bacteria too. They cannot differentiate between the two, but they kill everything. It's like dropping a bomb in your gut. All right, you will get rid of the bad guys, but you will deplete and destroy the good guys in the process, and then that leaves you depleted. So if you're not eating prebiotics to feed your probiotics, you will never replenish to an effective, safe, strong level, and you'll always get sick. All right, and then if you get sick again, you take more antibiotics to try and get well, and you deplete it even further. All right, so basically it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. All right, so what do? Well, you strengthen your probiotics. Okay, so you feed your probiotics with prebiotics. Now prebiotics essentially are fruits and vegetables, okay, and seeds, and honey is actually a good one. Cacao, believe it or not, is a prebiotic. Okay, but prebiotics are essentially fruits and vegetables that feed your microbiome. The best ones are slightly green bananas, artichoke, onion, garlic, leek, asparagus. I mean, look, there's tons. I mean, at the end of the day, multicoloured, fibrous, so you've got your soluble and insoluble fibres. Okay, variety of colour, variety of types, variety of families of fruits and vegetables. Sweet potato is another very good one. Okay, so that's obviously a root vegetable. All right. So look, at the end of the day, fruits and vegetables feed your probiotics. Okay, and they are essential in your diet. You know, if you don't eat fruits and vegetables, you will never ever have a strong probiotic community in your gut, and you will, you know, you'll get sick. You know, you probably do. You know, you just put it down to catching a cold or a flu or whatever, but you just don't realise that your immune system strength, as in your natural ability to fight colds and flus and not get infected, is determined by the strength of your gut microbiome, or your good bacteria. Steffi, I saw that. Probiotics, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. All right, so so feeding your probiotics is the most important. Okay, now these day and age, I even recommend, and someone's just mentioned, and I'm sure you've probably heard and other people do, is you take probiotics. Okay, so taking a probiotic is a great idea, particularly in the world we live in today, particularly if you've had antibiotics recently. If you're taking antibiotics, you should take a probiotic the same time, not the same time as the antibiotic, but the same day. All right, so if you pop an antibiotic in the morning, you should take a high strength probiotic in the afternoon to counteract the effects of killing the good bacteria that the antibiotic is doing it at the same time as it's killing the bad bacteria. All right, so yes, you can and should take probiotics. Okay, the problem is a probiotic capsule is never gonna be as good as strengthening your natural probiotics by eating prebiotic foods. Okay, and there's a reason for that. Okay, it's not essentially your microbiome, it's something you're taking from that's been produced and put in. So yes, it's still good bacteria, but it's not necessarily specific to your microbiome. And what I mean by that is that the strains of bacteria within your gut vary, and the amount per strain varies, and that varies for everybody. Even though we are genetically 99% blah 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 similar, when it comes to your gut there are vast differences in your microbiomes. Okay, so let's say, for example, something like Yakult. Okay, Yakult is Casio Shirota strain, lactobacillus, I think. All right, it's not bad stuff. Okay, but Yakult itself is shit. All right, because it's made with sugar. All right, so you're drinking a probiotic and taking it with sugar. It's fucking stupid. All right, the strain of bacteria itself is not too bad. So if you want Casio Shirota, then look for a probiotic capsule that contains Casio Shirota, as well as lactobacillus and bifidum and many more. All right, now the main ones I've just mentioned there: lactobacillus, acidophilus, bifidum. Okay, but there are multi-strains of those as well. So if you ever take a probiotic, which I do recommend people do, you want a multi-strain probiotic. Okay, and ideally by that I mean at least 8 to 12 different strains of bacteria, not just 1 or 2, which is mostly what is available these days, unless you look for specific high-strength multi-strain products, which most people don't know to do. All right, but that's my next tip. If you're going to take a probiotic, find and look for a high-strength multi-strain probiotic with at least 8 to 12 different strains. Okay, and in some cases there's a specific yeast that you might want to take if you're suffering from things like Candida and IBS. Okay, but if you've got questions on that, just ask me. Okay, now these days typical probiotic, just a normal one from the chemist or whatever, is 5 billion bacteria, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. Oh, 5 billion, that sounds like a lot. All right, so you pop one of those a day or 2 of those a day, whatever, you think you're actually having a beneficial impact on your gut microbiome. You're not. Okay, 5 billion is like pissing in the ocean. Okay, and the reason for that, as I mentioned before in the previous video, is your gut contains 100 trillion bacteria. Okay, 100 trillion. If you're taking a probiotic at 5 billion a day and you're not eating prebiotics and you think that's going to help you, you're a little bit crazy. Now that's not your fault, you've just been led to believe that they're good for you. They're not, they're shit. Okay, it's not shit. I mean, any good thing you do is helpful, but it's ineffective. Okay, if you're going to take a probiotic, you have to have a high dose probiotic. And when I say high dose, I'm talking 40, 50, 75 billion per capsule, 2 to 3 times per day. If you are depleted, if you have recently had antibiotics, if you get sick often, all right, and if you don't eat prebiotics. Okay, there you go, there's your sort of main criteria for those ones. All right, so high strength, 50, 75 billion, multi-strain, 8 to 12 different strains of bacteria if you're going to take a probiotic capsule. All right, now I don't take a probiotic. All right, so you're probably thinking, why am I banging on about probiotics? Okay, I eat probiotic foods. Okay, now a probiotic food is a ferment. So any food, drink that is fermented contains natural probiotics. Okay, a natural probiotic is always gonna be better than a probiotic capsule. Okay, so for example, I personally every day take apple cider vinegar. All right, now it's disgusting, but I quite like it now because I mix it with, well, actually I wouldn't say like it, that's a stretch. I'm used to it now. All right, I'll either neck it with a shot of water, like 2 shots of water, 1 shot of apple cider, and just neck it, and then wash it down with a little dash of water after that, or I'll put it with hot water and honey. Okay, these days I've been using a fire cider blend, which is apple cider with chili, garlic, horseradish, and some other stuff. Okay, So that's one natural probiotic, okay? Another one is kefir, okay? Now, ideally with kefir, if you're going to go to the kefir route, I would recommend coconut kefir, not milk-based kefir, because I don't, even if it's got good bacteria, I don't like milk, okay? It's just not for humans, it's for fucking baby cows, okay? End of story, all right? So kefir, coconut kefir is my favourite. Coconut yogurt, you know, is a good one. Sauerkraut, kimchi, all right? Kvass, or Kvass, which is a Russian Baltic fermented beverage, and kombucha, okay? So I think I've covered a few there, but just look it up. Fermented foods, okay? Fermented foods are better than any probiotic capsule you could ever take, okay? So if you can eat a fermented food per day, maybe even more, drink a kombucha, have a shot of apple cider, eat some sauerkraut, you know? I mean, that's best case scenario. But if you could do something like that every day, plus eat raw fruits and vegetables, okay, you will never ever have a problem with your gut microbiome. Your probiotics will be strong, you will be feeding them with your prebiotics, you should have a strong healthy immune system, not get sick so often, okay? So I don't take probiotics, I take natural I don't take probiotic capsules, I take a natural probiotic. If you can do that, I suggest you do. If you can't, you want to take a high strength probiotic capsule, okay? 2 to 3 times a day, not once, okay? You want to throw 150 to 300 billion of those fuckers in there per day, not 5 billion, all right? Okay, probiotic, antibiotics. All right, so let's talk about those again quickly. Antibiotics are essential. They have saved lives. They continue to save lives. Dale, you look around waiting to get busted. I've always done this, to be honest. I don't know why it is. I'm a very curious fella. All right. Anyway, antibiotics. Right. Okay. Cool. Don't interrupt me, mate. Antibiotics. All right. So we need them. They're essential when you get a life-threatening bacteria. They are not essential when you get a fucking cold, people. Okay. If you get a cold and run off to the doctor for antibiotics, you are. You think you're doing the right thing, but you're misinformed, okay? Your body will fight a cold, naturally, okay? An antibiotic will destroy your good bacteria in your gut, will make you more susceptible to another cold later on. And then, degeneratively, your immune system gets worse the more antibiotics you take over time, okay? Particularly if you're not putting high-strength probiotics back in, and if you're not feeding your gut with prebiotics, okay? So, like I said, you know, antibiotics are essential, but only if you've got a life-threatening illness. Please, people, don't run to the doctors for antibiotics when you've got a cold, okay? It's just stupid, all right? You are literally contributing to your own ill health by doing that, all right? I bet when you go to the doctor, he doesn't tell you need to take a probiotic to counteract the prebiotic, the antibiotic, does he? No, he doesn't. I would hope he knows, but possibly he doesn't, all right? Because they're not trained in nutrition, they're trained in medicine. And we need them. I'm not anti-doctor. If I get sick, I'm going to the doctor. I'm not going to the fucking herb shop, all right? If I have an accident, I'm going to the hospital. I'm not going to sit at home and, you know, rub turmeric on my broken leg, all right? But at the end of the day, natural health is more important than medicinal intervention, all right? So, probiotics, your gut health, your gut microbiome, they need to be taken care of, okay? Prebiotics need to feed your probiotics. Antibiotics are only if you've got a life-threatening illness should you ever take antibiotics, okay? If you do take antibiotics, you have to take high-strength probiotics to counteract them at the opposite end of the day, okay? Yeah, the most important thing is feed yourself natural probiotics, more so than a capsule probiotic, okay? So apple cider vinegar, kimchi, sauerkraut, kvass, what have I forgotten? Kombucha, and there's a few others I've forgotten, okay? So if you need to know more, look it up. Fermented foods for natural probiotics, okay? So there you go, folks. Prebiotics, probiotics, and antibiotics, all right? So that's the end of part 2, all right? Part 3 I will do tomorrow because I'm losing light now, okay? So part 3 will be on all of the gut health issues that we are experiencing as a population these days, all right, which there's quite a lot of. So you've got candida, you've got SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, you've got leaky gut or intestinal permeability when the gut lining starts to permeate and food passes through and goes straight into the bloodstream and you get an inflammatory response. You've got IBS, you know, constipation, diarrhea. All right, these are all issues related to your gut microbiome and what goes in your mouth to determine whether or not any damage is caused to your gut lining, which particularly antibiotics and medicines. Medicines in particular do that, particularly NSAIDs, so non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. You know, they literally tear your gut lining to pieces, as well as very strong, powerful medicines that are supposed to be used to treat illness and disease, you know, will actually tear away your gut lining as well. Okay, so on that note, that's the end of today. Tomorrow I'm going to cover all the sort of most common gut health issues there are now, and I'll talk about solutions. I mean, you cannot just fix things just like that, but I'll talk about solutions, and then at the end of that video I will offer a proper solution to any or all gut health issues that any of you face, and you can determine if you want to take me up on that. All right, so on that note, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.